It was his Christmas gift. I'll pay you. He didn't name any of my songs. It was so funny. So he asked this old guy to do it. He's like, I really don't know. And he's like, why? Like, you're not one of my fans? And he's like, no, my wife is. He goes, oh, I can tell you just died in dollars. I'm like, it was so funny. I'm not going to apologize for seeing him. I don't know what you should. Well, you like freaking people from Minnesota. They're not real. I just broke them.
You don't know. They have with the minds of the artists, whatever. They had a mind to replacements, where they found replacements for the greatest bands in the
They probably said from Minnesota. One of the greatest bands from Minnesota.
They said from Minnesota, from the Minneapolis area, one of the greatest bands of the 80s.
So that's not hard to imagine. No. If you have a box of rotten oranges, and you have one good orange. This is the best orange I've ever had.
That score, that Seattle, since the song came in Minneapolis was the place, was it happening?
Welcome to Salt City Center for the Performing Arts. We have an exciting goal and want you to participate in helping us reach it. We plan the building of brand new restroom facilities, accessible to both theaters and completely up to date for our physically challenged audience members. You can help by taking part in tonight's 50-50 drawing. Get a chance from one of the ushers before the show or during intermission. And right before the opening of the second act, we'll draw for a winner. It could be you. The winner will receive 1/2 the monies collected, the remainder to be divided between the building fund and theater maintenance. Your generosity towards this worthwhile project is appreciated.
Who's there? Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself. Long live the king. Bernardo? He. Oh, you come most carefully upon your hour. 'Tis now your 12. You need the bed, Francis. For this relief, much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold, and I am sick at heart. Have you had quiet, guard? Not mouth stirred. Well, good night. Can you meet Horatio and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, bid them make haste? I think I hear them. What? Oh, who's there? Friends to this crowd.
And liegemen to the Dane.
Give you good night.
Oh, farewell, honest soldier. Who hath relieved you?
Bernardo has my place. Give you good night.
Hola, Bernardo.
Hey, what is Horatio there?
A piece of him.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus.
What, does it seem here again tonight?
I've seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but a fantasy and will not let belief take hold of him. Touching his dread sight twice seen of us. Therefore, I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that if again his apparition come, he may approve our eyes and speak to us.
Tush, 'twill not appear.
Sit down a while. Let us once again assail your ears that are so fortified against our story. We have 2 nights seen.
Well, sit we down, and let us hear Bernardo speak of this.
Last night of all, when yon same star that's westward from the pole hath made its course to illumine that part of heaven where now it burns, Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating one.
Peace, break thee off. Look where it comes again.
The same figure like the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar, speak to it, Horatio.
Looks it not like the king Margaret, Horatio?
Most like it heralds me with fear and wonder.
Who be spoke to?
Question it, Horatio.
What art thou that usurpest this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form, which the majesty of very Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven, I charge thee, speak!
He's offended.
See, it stalks away.
Stay! Speak! Speak, I charge thee, speak!
He's gone and will not answer.
And now, Horatio, you tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy? What think you on?
Before my God, I might not disbelieve, without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes.
Did not like the king?
As thou art to thyself.
He was about to speak when the cock crew.
And then it started, like a guilty thing upon a fearful summons. I have heard the cock that is a trumpet to the morn, doth from his lofty and shrill-sounding throat awake the god of day. And at his warning, whether in sea or fire, earth or air, the extravagant and erring spirit hies to his confine. But look, the morn in russet mantle clad walks o'er the dew of yon high eastward hill. Break where I watch up, and by my advice let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For upon my life, this spirit, dumb to us, will speak to him.
Of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and let it us be fitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one broad woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with valor, that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial joytress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, in mirth and funeral and with dirge and marriage, with an auspicious and a dropping eye, each in scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Oh, have we headed by your better wisdom of jeopardy, on which is fed along, and for all our thanks. Now follows that you know. Young Fortinbras, bearing a weak supposal of our worth, our thinking by our late dear brother's death, our state to be disjointed out of frame, colleagued with his dream of his advantage, he hath not failed to pester us with message, importing to us the surrender of those lands lost by his father through all bonds of law to our most valiant brother. So much for him. Now for ourselves and for this time of meeting, thus much the business is. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and favour to return to France, from whence, for the willing I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation. Yet now I must confess, that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again toward France, and bar them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave by laboursome petition, and at last, upon his will, I sealed my hard consent. I do beseech you give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, and thy best graces spended at thy will. And now for our cousin Hamlet and our son.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy netted color off and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common. All that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, 'tis common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam. Nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passeth show. These but the trappings and the suits of woe.
Oh, 'tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know your father lost a father. That father lost his. And the survivor bound by filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persevere in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief, a fault to heaven, a fault against the dead, a fault to nature, to reason most absurd, whose common theme is death of fathers, and of those who have cried since the first course till he that died today. This must be so. Oh, we pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire. And we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. Pray thee, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall, in all my best, obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Beset yourself in Denmark. Madam, come. Oh, this gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart, in praise whereof no jocund health that Denmark drinks today, but the great cannons to the clouds shall tell, and the kings roused the heavens shall brew it again, bespeaking earthly thunder. Come, madam, come away.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh, God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely, that it should come to this. But 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this, Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother that we might not beteem the winds of heaven, visit her face too roughly. Oh, heaven and earth, must I remember? Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month. Let me not think on't. Frailty. Thy name is woman. A little month, or ere those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe, all tears. Why, even she, oh God, even a beast that wants discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left a flushing in her golden eyes, she married, oh, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
I'd rather see you wet. Well, Horatio, or I do forget myself.
The same, my lord, and your poor servant Emma.
Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you, Marcellus.
My good lord.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. But what in faith make you from Wittenberg?
Truant disposition good, my lord.
I would not hear mine enemies say so, nor shall you do mine here that violence to make a truster of your own report against yourself. I know you are no truant, but what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I prithee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven, or ever I had seen that day, Horatio. My father, methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man! Take him for all in all, I shall not look upon his light again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesterday.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
King? My father?
2 nights together had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernard, on their watch in the dead fast, in the middle of the night, and thus encountered a figure like your father, armed. This to me in dreadful secrecy, in part they did, and I with them the 3rd night kept the watch. Whereas they delivered, both in time, form of the thing, each word made true and good. The apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more like.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watched.
Did you speak to
My
it?
lord, I did, but answer made it none. Yet once we thought it lifted up its head, as if it would speak. But even then, the morning cock crew loud, and at the sound it shrunk and haste away and vanished from our sight.
'Tis very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true. And we did think of it down in our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed, sirs. But this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight.
We do, my lord.
Armed, say you?
On, my lord.
From top to toe.
My lord, from head to foot.
Then saw you not his face?
Oh, yes, my lord, he was wiser up.
What, looked he frowningly?
A countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
And fixed his eyes upon you?
Most constantly.
Would I had been
It
there!
would have much amazed you.
Very like, very like. Stayed it long.
Well, one with moderate haste might tell 100.
Longer.
Not when I saw it.
His beard was grizzled, no?
It was, as I have seen it in his life, sable silver.
I will watch tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
Peace, I pray you. If you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still, and whatsoever else shall have tonight, give it an understanding, but no tongue. I will requite your loves. So fare you well. Upon the platform, twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honor.
Your loves, as mine to you. Fare you well. My father's spirit! In arms. All is not well. Would the night were come. Till then, sit still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them to men's eyes.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit and convoy is assistant. Do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet, in the trifling of his favor, holdeth a fashion and a toy in blood, a violet in the youth of primy nature, forward not permanent, sweet not lasting, the perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more but so.
Think it no more. But you must fear his greatness weight his will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for on his choice depends the safety and health of his whole state, and therefore must his choice be circumscribed unto the voice and yielding of that body, whereof he is the head. Then if he says he loves you, it fits your wisdom so far to believe it, as he in this particular act and place may give his saying deed, which is no further than the main voice of this entire state lasts withal. Then wayward loss your honor may sustain if with too credent dear you list his songs or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Be wary, best safety lies in fear. Youth to itself rebels, though none else near.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But, good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst like a puffed and reckless libertine himself the primrose path to dalliance treads, and recks not his own need.
Oh, fear me not. I stay too long, but here my father comes.
Yet here, yet days, aboard for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There, my blessings with thee. And these few precepts for thy memory, look thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought is act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast in their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear it that the opposite may beware of thee. Give every man thine ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy, rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it shall follow as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. There, my blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time awaits you. Go.
Farewell, Julia, and remember well what I have said to you.
Keep my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is Ophelia he hath said to you?
So to please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Very well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself above your audience be most free and bounteous, if it be so, as so 'tis put on me. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affections to me.
Affection! Pooh! You speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. You believe his tenders, as you call them.
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Mary, I'll teach you think yourself a baby. Tender yourself more dearly, or you'll tender me a fool.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in an honorable fashion.
Fashion you may call it. Go to, go to.
And hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost the holy vows of heaven.
Aye, springs to catch woodcocks. This is for all. I would not in plain terms from this time forth have you so slander any moment's leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways.
I shall obey my lord.
The air bites shrewdly. It is very cold.
It is a nipping and an eager air.
What hour now?
I think it lacks at 12.
Now it is struck.
Indeed, I heard it not. And then it draws near the season wherein the spirit held his wont to walk. What does this mean, my lord?
The king doth wake tonight and takes his rouse, keeps wassail in the swaggering upspring reels, and as he drains his draughts of Rhenish down, the kettle drum and trumpet thus bray out the triumph of his pledge.
Is it a custom?
Aye, marry, is it? But to my mind, though I am native here, and to the manor born, it is a custom more honored in the breach than the observance. This heavy-headed rebel east and west makes us traduced and taxed of other nations. They call us drunkards, and with swinish phrase soil our edition. And indeed it takes from our achievement that were performed at height the pith and marrow of our attribute.
Look, my lord, it comes!
O angels and ministers of grace, defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or goblin damned. Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, King, Father, Royal Dane, oh answer me.
It beckons you to go away with it, as if it's of impartment and desire to you alone.
Look with courteous action and wave you to a mooring with the ground. So do not go with it.
No, by no means.
It will not speak, then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why, what should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee, and for my soul, what can it do to that being, a thing immortal as itself? It waits me forth again, I'll follow it.
What if it take you toward the flood, my lord, or to the gentle summit of the cliff that beetles o'er his base into the sea, and there assume some other horrible form, to make the bright your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness?
It waves me still, go on, I'll follow me.
Shall not go.
Hold off, you!
Behold, you shall not go.
My face cries out and makes each betty artery in his body as hardy as the Nemean lion's nerve. It waves me still, unhand me, friend! By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that holds me. I say away! Go on, I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's follow. 'Tis not fit thus to obey him.
Have after. To what issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct you.
Hey, let's follow him.
Where wilt thou lead me? Speak! I will go no further.
Mark me.
I will.
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain time to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast and fires, until the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. Oh, list, oh, list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love.
Oh, God!
Revenge is foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder!
Aye, murder most foul and the best it is. But this, most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Haste me to know it, that I, with wings as swift as meditation or the thoughts of love, may sweep to my revenge.
Now, Hamlet, here, 'tis given out that sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me. So the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life, now wears his crown.
My prophetic soul. My uncle.
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit, with traitorous gifts, won to his shameful lust my most seeming virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off was there. But soft, leave incessant the morning air. Brief let me be. Sleeping in my orchard, my custom always in the afternoon, upon my secure hour thy uncle stole, with juice of cursed Lebanon in a vial, and within the porches of my ears did pour the leprous distilment, whose effect has such enmity with man, that swift as quicksilver it courses through the natural gates and alleys of the body. Thus was I, of life, of crown, of queen, at once dispatched, cut off even into blossoms of my sins, unhoused, disappointed, unhealed, no reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head.
Oh, horrible, most horrible.
Oh, Hamlet, if thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thy pursue this course, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. But fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the matin to be near, and gives to pale his ineffectual fire. Adieu. Adieu. Hamlet, remember me.
Father. Oh, you heavenly host. Oh, earth. What else? And shall I couple hell? Hold my heart. Remember thee. Aye, thou poor ghost, while memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Remember thee. Yea, from the tables of my memory I'll wipe away all trivial fond records that youth and observation copied there. And thy commandment all alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matter. Oh yes, by heaven! Oh, most pernicious woman. Oh, villain, villain. Smiling, damned villain, that one may smile and be a villain. At least I am sure it may be so in Denmark. And so, uncle, there you are. And now to my word. It is adieu, adieu. Remember me, I have sworn it.
My lord! Lord Hamlet, how is my noble lord?
What news, my lord?
Oh, wonderful.
Good, my lord, tell me.
Nay, you will reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven.
Nor I, my lord.
What sayest thou? Would have a man once think it. But you'll be secret.
Aye, by heaven, my lord.
There's ne'er a villain dwelling in all of Denmark, but he's an errant's knave.
Then he's no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this.
Why, right? You are in the right. And so, without more circumstance at all, I hold it fit that we shake hands and part. You, as your business and desire, shall point you, for every man has business and desire, such as it is. And for mine own part, look you, I'll go pray.
These are but wild and whirling words, my lord.
I'm sorry they offend you. Heartily, yes, faith, heartily.
It's no offense, my lord.
Yes, there is, by St. Patrick, and much offense too. Touching this vision here, it is an honest ghost, that let me tell you, for your desire to know what is between us, or master it as you may. And now, good friends, as you are friends, scholar and soldier, give me one poor request.
What is, my lord? We will.
Never make known what you have seen here tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, but swear it!
In faith, my lord, not I.
Nor I, my lord, in faith.
Upon my sword!
We have sworn already, my lord.
Indeed, upon my sword, indeed! Ha ha! Sayest thou so, boy? Art thou there, too petty? Ha ha! Come on! Here is that man in the anteroom. Consent to swear!
Propose the oath, my lord.
Never to speak of this that you have seen tonight. Swear by my sword. Ha ha ha! Come hither, gentlemen! Lay your hands again upon my sword. Never to speak of this that you have heard. Swear by my sword.
Day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
And therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in our philosophy, Horatio. But come, here, as before, never, so help you mercy, how strange or odd soe'er I may bear myself, as I perchance hereafter shall think meet to put an antic disposition on, that you at such time seeing me never shall, or by pronouncing of some doubtful phrase, such as, well, we know, or we could, and if we would, or by such ambiguous giving out, to note that you know aught of me, this not to do. So grace and mercy at your most need help you swear. Oh, rest, perturbed spirit. And now, gentlemen, with all my love I do commend me to you. And what so poor a man as Hamlet is may do to express his love and friending to you, God willing, shall not lack. Let us go in together. And still, your fingers on your lips, I pray. The time is out of joint. Oh, cursed spite, that ever I was born to set in love. Let us go in.
Give him this money and these notes, Ronaldo.
I will, my lord.
You will do marvelous wisely, good Ronaldo, if before you visit him you make inquire of his behavior.
My lord, I did intend it.
Observe his inclination in yourself.
I shall, my lord.
And let him ply his music.
Well, my lord.
Very well. What? Oh, Ophelia, what's the
Oh, my lord,
matter?
my lord, I've been so frightened.
With what in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all embraced, pale as a shirt, and with a look so piteous and purport as if he'd been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
And for thy love.
My lord, I know not. Truly, I I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus over his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face, as he would draw it. Oh, stayed he so. At last a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound, as it did seem to shatter all his bulk, and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes. For out of doors he went without their helps, and to the last bended their light upon me.
Come, go with me. I will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property foredoes itself and leads the will to desperate undertakings, as oft as any passion under heaven that has afflict our natures. I am sorry, what, have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not quoted him. I thought he did but trifle and meant to wreck thee. Come, this must be known, which being kept close might move more grief to hide than hate to utter love. Come.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you. The need we have to use you is forefront in our minds. Something you have heard of Hamlet's transformation, what it should be more than his father's death, that thus hath put him so much from the understanding of himself, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little time, so by your companies to draw him unto pleasures, and to gather so much as from occasion you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that open lies within our remedy.
Good gentlemen, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am two men that are not living to whom he more adheres. If it will please you to show us so much gentry and goodwill as to expend your time with us a while, for the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesty's might, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves freely in the full bent to lay our services at your feet, to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz, and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern, and gentle Rosencrantz.
Yeah.
And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son. Go, and bring these gentlemen where Hamlet is.
My lord, I do believe that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Now speak of that do I long to hear.
My liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, what day is day, night, night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste day, night, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness its limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for what is it to define true madness but to be nothing else but mad?
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity, and pity 'tis true. Oh, foolish figure, but farewell to it, for I will use no art. Madness granted then. It now remains for us to find the cause of this effect. Or rather say the cause of this defect, for this effective comes by cause. But thus it remains, and the remainder thus perpend. I have a daughter, well, she is mine, who in her duty and obedience hath given me this. Now, gather and surmise. To the celestial of my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. That's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase. Ah, but you
Leave this from Hamlet to her.
Oh, stay well, madam, I will be faithful. Doubt that the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not wit to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best, oh, most best believe it. Adieu, thine evermore, whilst this machine is to him. Hamlet. This in obedience hath my daughter shown me, and more above hath his solicitings as they fell out by time, by means and place, all given to mine ear.
But how has she received his love?
My lord, what do you think of me?
Well, as of a man faithful and honorable.
I would fain prove so. I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord, Hamlet is a prince out of thy star. This must not be. And then I precepts gave her that she should lock herself from his resort, receive no messengers, accept no tokens, which done, she took the fruits of my advice, and he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell first into a sadness, then into a fast, thence to a watch, thence into a weakness, thence into a lightness, and by this declension into that madness wherein now he raves, and we all mourn for.
Do you think there's this?
It may be, very likely.
My lord, hath it ever been the case, I would fain know that, when I have positively said 'tis so, and it proved otherwise.
Not that I know.
Take this from this, if it be otherwise.
Well, how shall we try it further?
You know how sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in the lobby?
So he does indeed.
Such a time I'll loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind arras, then mark the encounter. If he love her not, and be not from his reason fallen thereon, let me be no assistant for a state, but keep a farm and carters.
We will try it.
But look where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Oh, away! I go, you both, beseech you both away. I'll board him presently. Oh, give me leave. How does my good lord Hamlet?
Well, God a mercy!
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent well! You are a fishmonger!
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
Aye, sir, for to be honest as this world goes is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That's very true, my lord.
For if the sun breathed maggots in a dead dog, being a good kissing carrion, have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Then let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to it.
What say you by that? Still harping on my daughter. And he knew me not at first. He thought I was a fishmonger. He is far gone, far gone. And truly in my youth I suffered much extremity of love. Very near this. I'll speak to it again. What do you read, my lord?
Words! Words! Words!
What is the matter?
Between who?
I mean the matter that you read.
Oh, slander, sir! Well, the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards, that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes purging thick amber and plum tree gum, and that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hams. All which, sir, though I most powerfully and potently believe, yet I hold it not honestly to have it thus set down. For yourself, sir, should be old as I am, if, like a crab, you could go backward.
Though this be madness, there is method in it. I'll speak to him. When you go out of the air, my lord.
Into my grave.
He that is out of the air, how pregnant sometimes his replies are. My honorable lord, I will most humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I will more willingly part with all. Except my life. Except my life. Except my life.
Farewell.
These tedious old fools.
You go to seek the Lord Hamlet. There he is.
God save you, sir.
My honored lord!
Dear Lord!
Guildenstern, how dost thou? How Rosencrantz, good lads, how do ye both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we are not over happy. On fortune's cap, we are not the very button.
Nor the soles of her shoe.
Neither, my lord.
Then you live about her waist, or in the middle of her face.
Faith or private, sweet.
Oh, in the secret parts of fortune! Oh, most true! Ah, she is a strumpet!
What's the news?
None, my lord, but the world has grown honest.
Then is doomsday near. But your news is not true. Let me question more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord.
Denmark's a prison.
Then is the world one.
Ah, a goodly one, in which there are many confines, wars, and dungeons, Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why then, 'tis none to you. For there is nothing, either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me it is a prison.
Why then is your ambition that makes it one? 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh, God! I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space, were it not that I have bad dreams.
Which dreams indeed are ambition, for the very substance of the ambitious is merely the shadow of a dream.
The dream itself is but a shadow. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord, no other occasion.
Oh, beggar that I am even poor in thanks, but I thank you. Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Come, nay, speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Why, anything but to the purpose. You were sent for, and there is a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me. But let me conjure you, by the rights of our fellowship, by the consonancy of our youth, be even and direct with me whether you were sent for or no.
What say you?
Nay. I have an eye of you then. If you love me, hold not off.
Oh, my lord, we were sent for.
And I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen moult no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I knew not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercises, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air. Look you, this brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof, fretted with golden fire, why it appears no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form and moving, how express and admirable, in action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god. The paragon of animals, the beauty of the world, and yet to me what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me. No, no woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Then why did you laugh when I said man delights not me?
To think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what legend entertainment the players shall receive from you. We caught them on the way, and hither are they coming to offer you service.
What players are they?
Even those who are wont to take delight in the tragedians of the city.
There are the players.
Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. Your hands You are welcome. But my uncle father and my aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am but mad north-northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw.
Well be with you, gentlemen.
Hark you, Guildenstern, and you, too. That great baby you see there is not yet out of his swaddling clouts. I will prophesy he comes to tell me of the players' market. Oh, you say right, sir. Monday morning 'twas so indeed.
My lord, I have news to tell you. The actors are come hither.
Buzz, buzz!
On mine honor.
Then came each actor on his ass.
The greatest actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, comical, historical, pastoral, tragical, comical, historical, pastoral, scene indivisible, or poem unlimited. Seneca cannot be too heavy, nor Plautus too light.
Welcome, masters! My old friend! Sir, thy face is balanced since I saw thee last. Comest thou to beard me in Denmark? Oh, my dear, pray your voice like a piece of uncurrent gold be not cracked within the ring. Oh, good, my lord, do you hear? Let the players be well used. See, they are well bestowed, for they are the abstract and brief chronicles of the time. After your death, you were better have a bad epitaph than their ill report while you lived.
My lord, I will use them according to their deserts.
Oh, God, Bodkins, man, much better. Use every man after his desert, and who should escape whipping? Use them after your own honor and dignity. The less they deserve, the more merit in your bounty. Take them in.
Come, sirs.
Follow it, Lord. We'll have a play tomorrow. My dear friend, dost thou hear me? Canst thou play the murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lord.
We'll have it tomorrow night. You could, for a need, study a speech of some 12 or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert in it. Could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Follow that, Lord, and look you, mock him not. Ha 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 ha! My friends, you are welcome to Elsinore. I'll leave you till night.
Good, my lord.
So God be with ye. Now I am alone. What a rogue and peasant slave am I! Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit that from her working all his visage won? Tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit. And all for nothing. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Breaks my paint across, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie in the throat as deep as to the lungs. Who does me this? Bloody body villain! Remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain! Oh, vengeance! Why, what an ass am I! Oh, this is most brave. That I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must, like a whore, unpack my heart with words and fall a cursing like a very drab, a scullion. Fie upon it, foe, about my brain. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have, by the very cunning of the scene, been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions, for murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like The murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks. I'll tempt him to the quick. And if he but blench, I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be the devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape, yea, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing, wherein thou catch the conscience of the king.
And can you, by no drift of conference, get from him why he puts on this confusion?
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak.
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman.
Did you assay him to any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that certain players we all wrought on the way. Of these we told him, and there did seem in him a kind of joy to hear of it. They are about the court, and as I think, they have already ordered this night to play before him.
'Tis most true, and he hath beseeched me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
Oh, with all my heart. And it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. A good gentleman, give him a further edge and drive his purpose on to these delights.
We shall, my lord.
And to sweet Gertrude, leave us too. For we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he, as 'twere by accident, may hear of Aunt Ophelia. Her father and myself, lawful as piles, will so bestow ourselves that, seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, and gather by him as he is behaved, if it be the affliction of his love or no, that thus he suffers for.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties will be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope that your virtues will bring him to his wonted way again. To both your honors.
Madame, I wish it may.
Ophelia, walk you here. Gracious beseech you, we will bestow ourselves. Read on this book, that show of such an exercise may color your loneliness.
I hear him coming. Let's withdraw, my lord.
Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. To die. To sleep. No more. And by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die. To sleep. To sleep. Perchance to dream. There's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of disprized love? The law's delay, the insolence of office, and the patient merit that merit of the unworthy takes. when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who would fathers bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country, from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with a pale cast of thought. And enterprises of great pith and moment with disregard their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. Soft, my fair Ophelia, nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good, my lord. And how does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you well. Well.
My lord, I have remembrance of yours that I have long longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did. With them, it's so sweet breath composes me these things marriage. Their perfume lost, take these now. For to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Aye, truly, for the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd, than the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. This was some time the paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you.
Indeed, my lord. You made me believe so.
Oh, you should not have believed me. For virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock as ye shall relish of it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent, honest, and yet I could accuse myself of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. What should such fellows as I do, crawling between earth and heaven? We are errant knaves all, believe none of us. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Why then, the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell.
Oh, help him, sweet heaven.
Ah, but if thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. Or, if thou wilt needs marry, marry a fool. For wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go, and quickly do farewell.
Oh, heavenly powers, restore him.
I've heard of your paintings too. Well enough. God has given you one face, and you make of yourselves another. You dig, you amble, and you lisp. You nickname God's creatures, and you make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to! I'll no more hunt! It hath made me mad! I say we will have no more marriages. Those that are married already, all but one, shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To our nunnery! Go!
Oh, the noble mind is here o'erthrown. And I, of ladies most dejected and wretched, suck the honey of his music fast. Now see that noble and most sovereign reason like sweet bells jangled out of tune and harsh. An unmatched form and feature of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. Oh, knows me. To have seen what I've seen. See what I see.
Love. His affections do not that way tend. Nor what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul of which his melancholy sits unbrewed, and I do doubt the hatch. And the disclosed will be some danger, which for to prevent, I have in quick determination thus set it down. He shall with speed to England for the demand of our neglected tribute. Happily the seas and countries different with variable objects shall expel this something settled matter in his heart, whereon his brain still beating puts him thus from fashion of himself. What think you on it?
It shall do well, and yet I do believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. Do as you please, but if you hold it fit after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his grief. I'll be place so please you in the ear of all their conference. If she find him not, to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Now, speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue. But if you mouth it, as so many of your players do, I had as lief the town crier spoke my line. No, do not saw the air too much with your hands thus, but use all gently, for in the torrent, tempest, and as I may say, whirlwind of passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness. Suit the action to the word to the action, with this special observance, that you o'erstep not the modesty of nature. And let those that play your clown speak no more than is set down. For there be of them that will themselves laugh, who set on some quantity of barren spectators to laugh too. That is villainous, for there might be some necessary question of the play to be then considered. It shows a pitiable ambition in the fool that uses it. But go, make you ready! How now, my lord, will the king hear this piece of work?
And the queen, too, and that presently.
Yet the players make haste. And will you two help to hasten them?
We will, my lord.
No. Oh, Horatio.
Here's your lord to service.
Observe, mine uncle. If his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech, then it is a damned ghost that we have seen, and my imaginations are as foul as falcon stithy. Give him heedful note, for mine eyes will rivet to his face, and after, we will both our judgments join in censure of his seeming.
Well, my lord.
They are coming to the play. Give thee a place. I must be idle.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent in faith. Of the chameleon's dish, I eat the air, promise crammed. You cannot feed capons so.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine. Now, my lord, you played once in the university, you say?
That did I, and I was accounted a good actor.
What did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
'Twas a brute act of him to kill so capital a cap there. Be the players ready?
Why, my lord, they wait upon your patience.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet. Sit by me.
No good, mother. Here's metal more attractive.
Humor.
Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I lean my head upon your lap.
Aye, my lord.
Do you think I meant country methods?
I think nothing, my lord.
Well, that's a fair thought to lie between maids' legs.
What is my lord?
Nothing.
All married, my lord.
Who, I?
Aye, my lord.
Oh, God. Your only jig maker. But what should a man do but be merry? For look you how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within these 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord.
So long? Oh, heavens. Died 2 months ago and not forgot yet? Why, then there's hope a great man's memory may outlive his life half a year.
What is the argument of the play?
We shall know by this fellow.
For us and for our tragedy, here stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
Eyes in a prologue and a posy in a ring.
'Tis brief, my lord.
As woman's love. Ah.
Full 30 times hath Phoebus' cart gone round Neptune's salt wash, and Tellus' orbed ground, since love our hearts, and Hymen did our hands unite co-mutual in most sacred bands.
So many journeys may the sun and moon make us again count o'er ere love be done. But woe is me, you are so sick of late, so far from cheer and from your former state.
Faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too. My operant powers their functions leave to do, and thou shalt live in this fair world behind, honored, beloved, and haply one as kind for husband shalt thou.
Oh, confound the rest! Such love must needs be treason in my breast. In second husband let me be accursed. None wed the second but who killed the first.
Wormwood. Wormwood.
I do believe you think what now you speak, but what we do determine oft we break. So think thou wilt no second husband wed, but die thy thoughts when thy first lord is dead.
Nor earth give me food, nor heaven light. Sport and repose lock me from day and night. Both here and hence pursue me lasting strife. If once a widow, ever I be wife.
She should break it now.
'Tis deeply sworn. Sweet, leave me here a while. My spirit grows dull, and fain I would beguile the tedious day with sleep.
Sleep rock thy brain, and never come this chance between us twain.
Madam, how like you this play?
The lady doth protest too much, methinks.
But she'll keep her word.
You've heard the argument. Is there no offense in it?
Oh, no, they do but jest. Poison in jest. No offense in the world.
What do you call the play?
The mouse trap. Marry, how trapically. This play is the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago is the Duke's name. Baptiste, his wife. You shall see anon, oh, 'tis a knavish piece of work, but what of that? Your Majesty and we that have free souls, it touches us not. Let the gold jade winks, our withers are unwrung. Ha! This next is one Lucianus, nephew to the king.
You are good as a chorus, my lord.
Oh, I could interpret between you and your loves if I could see the puppets dallying.
You are keen, my lord, you are keen.
It would cost you a groaning to take off my edge.
Still better. And worse.
So you must take your husband's. Come, murderer, begin. Leave your damnable face and begin. Come, the croaking raven doth bellow for revenge.
Thoughts black drugs fit and time agreeing, Confederate season else no creature seeing. Thou mixture rank of midnight reeds collected, on Hecate's band, thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic and dire property, unwholesome life, usurp immediately.
He poisons him in the garden for his estate. The story is extant and writ in choice Italian. You shall see anon how the murderer gets the love of Gonzago's wife.
The king rises.
What? Frighted with false fire?
Oh, here's my lord.
Give o'er the play!
Give me some light! Away!
Away! Let the stricken deer go weep, the heart ungored play. For some must watch, while some must weep, so runs the world away. Oh, Horatio, I'll give £1,000 for the ghost word. Did you perceive?
Very well, my lord.
Upon the talk of the poisoning.
I did very well note.
Come, some music, for if the king like not the comedy, why then be like he likes it not for thee. Come, some music.
Will my lord vouchsafe me a word?
Oh, sir, your whole history.
The king, sir.
Of him, sir?
Is in his retirement marvelous distempered.
With drink, sir.
No, my lord, rather with choler. The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, has sent me to you.
Your behavior has struck her into amazement and admiration.
Oh, most wonderful son that can so astonish a mother. But is there no sequel at the heels of this mother's admiration? In part.
She desires to speak to you in her closet ere you go to bed.
We shall obey, were she 10 times our mother.
My lord, the queen would speak with you and presently.
Do you see yonder cloud that's almost in shape of a camel?
By the mass, and 'tis like a camel indeed.
Methinks it is like a weasel.
It is backed like a weasel.
Or like a whale.
Very like a whale.
Then I will come to my mother by and by.
I shall say so.
By and by is easily said. Tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Now could I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. Thought. Now to my mother, oh heart, lose not thy nature. Let not ever the soul of Nero enter this firm bosom. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none!
During the intermission, Salt City Center personnel will pass among you with tickets for our 50-50 draw.